let's take a look at my new Aero Avante Asia Challenge 2024. So yes, this is a very, very special version of the car. So I'm going to give you a quick peek at it. So it's got a lot of additional things on it that make it unique. All of this silver trim all around it, yes, that you don't get from your standard fare Aero Avante. If you take a look here, there's no silver trim. I added silver trim. How did I do so? I grabbed a hold of the sticker sheet, and you can take a look at it right here, and you can see that I basically went through the entire sticker set and I created custom silver trim on the rear, on the sides, right around the canopy. Yes, these side wings here, as well as the insides of the spoiler. Pretty cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. So this car runs at 26 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's got a Venom tuned engine in there. Pretty darn cool. I tuned it this morning and yeah, pretty fast. I like it. 26,000 RPM, 26 kilometers per hour, pretty fast. So yeah, just gotta try to keep this from coursing out. So it's got super hard tires. All of you know that this kit here comes with super hard tires. They've got this really cool, wicked cool looking Asia Challenge imprint or printing on the side walls of the tires. Yeah, unfortunately these are not carbon wheels. I wish they were. The biggest problem with these wheels that were included with this kit is the fact that the shafts, they slid on and off of the wheels very easily, so I had to make a little modification to my shaft to keep the shaft on the wheel. And what I did there was I took some nippers and basically roughed up the ends on the shaft, and I was able to then pop the wheel on, slide it on, and friction causes the wheel to stay on the shaft. Otherwise, they'd be falling off the shaft. Yeah, and the cool thing about this kit is the two steel shafts I got were really, really straight. So I was very happy about that. I think maybe they upped the quality of the shafts in this particular kit just because it's a special kit. I don't know. All I can say is on other kits, I've discovered that usually there's one good shaft and one crooked shaft, and you have to basically rebend the crooked shaft to make it straight. Here, maybe it's just luck on my part, but I got two straight shafts, and that's pretty cool. So yeah. Oh, well, another thing is right here on the sides, I also had some silver trim right here too. Pretty cool. And you can do this too by just using the sticker sheet and adding additional stickers to the model to make it look even better, to dress it up, make it look even better than the standard fare on the box. Very, very cool. Yeah, so one thing I noticed about this, if you take a look at this picture here, you'll see that there's a different kind of motor in it. It's like an off-white bell motor. So it's still a white bell motor, but it's like off-white in color. So it's slightly yellowish white, like an eggshell color. So yeah, here's a standard motor right here. There's two standard motors right here. They have a white end bell, and it's got like a grayish bluish tint about it. Well, the motor that was included in here, in this Asia Challenge kit, was an eggshell color. Now, I'm gonna show you it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Right here, you can see it's an eggshell color, and here's a white end bell. So they're both white box stock motors, but this one here, the motor that came with the Asia Challenge, it's like an eggshell color, off-white, whereas this is like a bluish white or grayish white. So there you go. And yeah, I marked my motors here. It's 26,000 RPM. That's why I marked it like that. This one also is 26,000 RPM. Venom tuned. Yeah, if you look at my videos on Venom tuning, you'll learn how to tune your motors using my Venom tuning process. Pretty cool. And with that process, you can get up to 28,000 RPM on your motors. Pretty cool. Now, I've received numerous requests for people who want to purchase these motors, and I'm going to tell you that it takes a long time to create one of these motors. It takes a long time to break them in so that they are 28,000 RPM. And because it's such a long process, I don't really want to do it. So yeah, people have offered me all sorts of money for these motors, upwards of $30 for a motor, and I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to let you guys do it because you guys have the same knowledge that I have by following the video. Yeah, pretty cool. So yes, I would surely love to make this a side business to try to Venom tune motors, but it just takes too long to create one. It can take hours to create one, and I just don't want to do it because $30 for like several hours worth of work isn't really worth it. So yeah, you can do it yourself with the video. Yeah, just keep watching my videos and you'll learn a lot of stuff. So here's the thing, I'm interlacing or interleaving tips and tricks in every single video. So if you don't watch the video from beginning to end, you're gonna miss some of those tricks. So yeah, you want to learn as much as you can. So watch the videos from beginning to end and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's tips, tricks, advice, techniques, everything interleaved, interlaced throughout every video. Pretty cool. So yeah, so yes, Asia Challenge 2024. I pitted this against my mock friend. Okay, so this was a speed demon previously with its low friction wheels, carbon wheels, and 26,000 RPM motor in there, and 26 kilometers per hour speed, and this thing blew away this. So I don't know what's going on here, other than this is an older car, right? And so maybe it's like on its last legs or something, but this one's faster than a lot of cars so far, and maybe it's just faster because it's newer. That's a possibility. All of you probably remember my old car, the Flame Astute, the red metallic Flame Astute, Phoenix I called it. Well, this one is faster than that too. And speed-wise on the speed checker, it's not as fast. It wasn't 28 kilometers per hour, but 26 kilometers per hour is no joke. A lot of you know that 26 kilometers per hour on a speed checker, pretty darn fast. And yeah, here's a video to show that. Yeah, pretty cool. I remember someone criticizing me about how I use the speed checker and how you're supposed to not place just the front tires onto the roller part. I've seen this done so many times that that's how I check my speed. And if you want to do it some other way by placing the car entirely on the speed checker, you can do that. We'll call that the original way. But the new way is to basically just use the front tires on the rollers to just test the speed. So if you do that consistently with every single car, then you'll be able to compare one car to another. So all of those people who are always telling me things like, oh, you're doing things the wrong way, yeah, you're doing that the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's no right way or wrong way. There is a way, and there's a unique way that's unique to the person. And if that person does the same thing every single time, then he or she will have a comparison guide. Whereas if you just did it your way and you told me, oh, you did it the wrong way, you got to do it this way, then I start doing it that way, well, I don't have a comparison guide anymore. My comparison guide is to measure things the same way every single time. That's what a scientist does. Yes, that's what a scientist does. A scientist measures things the same way every single time. Now, you may have your way of doing things, and if you do that and measure all of your cars the same way every single time, then you have the comparison guide. You can compare one car against another. But if you're now telling me to change my method, to go follow your method, and I don't have this comparison guide anymore, all of this previous data is not relevant to me. So I'm telling you right now, this is the way I do it, and if you follow this way, you're going to get some good results too. And you know what? The ultimate test is how the cars fare against other cars, and most of you know I've won with many of these cars. So I'm not saying that as a boast, I'm just saying this is like how I test my cars, and my comparison guide seems to work so far. So all of you telling me, no, that's not the way to do it. Well, that's great for you, but for me, this is how I do it. And you might have your own unique way of doing it, and that's fine. That's cool. So, pretty cool. So let's take a look at here. I'm going to tell you here that there's some weird quirks about this car. This car here has this body latch right here, the cowl latch. And if I turn it and I try to remove it, it's really hard to remove. It's kind of like there's this gummy, sticky quality about the blue chassis that don't exist in the black chassis. Like the black chassis, this part here, this body catch, will just come right off. But here, it's almost like it's like a little sticky. So I have to like use my thumbnail and just kind of pry the back off, the back latch off, and now it's off. So that's kind of weird. And I think maybe that's the quality of the blue chassis, that it's a little gummy, a little sticky, and not like the black chassis. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a slightly softer material than the black chassis. The black chassis are probably made of like a very solid, hard material. And this kind of makes sense if you think about it, because if you get vinyl records, and all vinyl records are supposed to be made of the same kind of plastic, But people know that the black plastic usually sounds better and is more sturdy and is less pliable than the colored plastics. And I think that's what's happening here. So here we've got this blue plastic, and it's got like these weird qualities about it where it's kind of like slightly flexible compared to the black plastic. If I took my black plastic Flame Astute chassis, for example, I don't think it's as malleable as this blue plastic here. This one's got some flex to it, and I think maybe that's why people love this so much, because it's got the same kind of blue chassis here with the same kind of flex thing going on. Maybe not so much anymore, just because this is an older car, and so over time, the flexiness of the chassis becomes more solid and brittle with age. That's just because of age. So plastic doesn't last forever. Plastic doesn't stay with its characteristics forever. It does change over time depending on temperature, humidity, things like that. So this has become more like a black chassis over time. And so it's got the characteristics of a black chassis, or more towards a black chassis. So the car's not going to feel the same way as it did when I first built it, when it first came out of the box. This here, right now, it's got these unusually interesting characteristics about it, and so it's a little more flexible, a little more pliable than a black chassis. But over time, this is probably going to change its characteristics over time, and it'll end up being more like a black chassis. So until then, we try to take advantage of the features that we're given, right? And we're trying to see if we can use those features to our advantage. So right now, this slightly more pliable chassis, we're going to see if we can win a contest with this. Pretty cool, yeah. So some of the things that you can do with this particular car, you can remove this spoiler on the back. The spoiler adds a little bit of weight to the rear end. So here, I've removed it, and I can add it, and it'll add a little bit of weight towards the rear. Now, I have here the foil stickers here, and I was thinking about maybe adding some stickers, like the residue, all the leftover stickers on the underside of the chassis. But for me, I haven't tested this car on a real track yet, so I'm not going to start adding stickers until I start testing the car on a real track. That would make some sense. So right now, the only thing that I have on the back of it that's an addition is the nameplate. So this is the name of the car. It says here, Aero Avante Asia Challenge 2024, and this comes right off the sticker sheet right there. So yeah, that's in place of my name sticker. So pretty cool. So we're gonna see how this fares, and I'll make some minor adjustments come race day, and we'll see if this stays on the track. If it doesn't, then I'll have to use one of my other cars for race day. So race day is coming up soon, AAA Hobbies this weekend. So yeah, if you can come and make it, that'd be awesome. And we'll race together at AAA Hobbies in Magnolia, New Jersey. Pretty cool. So coming up in July, special announcement, everybody. Sidebite will be hosting the next Liberty Cup. Pretty cool. So yeah, Sidebite, Sunday, July 21 is the target date. And it'll be in the early afternoon, preferably. And yeah, we'll have a wonderful race there on their 5-lane track. So everybody, come one, come all, race against me, race against the other racers. You'll have a great time. Lots of prizes. Pretty darn cool. Yes. So yeah, everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.